It has been 3 months since the Supreme Court ruled the Manus detention center unconstitutional. Mr. Lomai said his clients, the refugees, are still detained and he's concerned about their future, saying their rights and liberty to be released from the center have been deprived. He has filed 2 applications with the Supreme Court for them to return to Australia and has asked who's responsible for that. However, these applications have been put on hold pending the processing of the asylum seekers to determine whether or not they are refugees.
The next issue is who is responsible. That was one of the issues that we intend to address too as well. Is Australia responsible? Is PNG responsible? Or is both countries responsible? We need to come and argue that issue. And in fact, a lot of the reports are very clear on that. UNHCR, Australian Senate Committee, they hold Australia responsible.
Today in court, Ian Molloy, lawyer representing Foreign Affairs Minister Rimbeng Pato, raised the issue of jurisdiction on the inquiry conducted by Ben Lomai to the 5 refugees. Molloy said this process may be unconstitutional because the Supreme Court has already made its ruling. However, Lomai said his clients are still detained and it is a human rights issue that needs to be fast-tracked in court. EMTV spoke with one of the refugees and this is what he said.
Because as seeking asylum as a human being, but they treat us worse than animals. Every single day, it's past like 1 year for us. This okay, the court said next week. It has 7 years for me. For my friends, they all get mental problems in detention. Just ask them to just let us go.
Meanwhile, a representative from the Refugee Action Coalition, an NGO in Australia, came to PNG on the weekend just to attend this court case.
And it is extremely frustrating that we're not seeing action from both the Australian government and the PNG government to actually close the centre. That people are still, in April 26th, that decision was made, and people are still waiting. And the situation on Manus gets worse and worse because people don't understand what their situation is, where they can be resettled, what their future is. All those things are in limbo, and the mistreatment is still happening on Manus Island because the centre remains open.
The case will return on August 2nd for immigration officials to respond to the 5 statements. Pasenata Yama, National EMTV News.